Boy, I sure took my sweet ass time with this video. Sorry guys, I recently got Elite Dangerous on sale a few days ago and it just completely took over my life. That, and truth be told, I kinda have no incentive to shit out content either. Unless you're on BitChute. Seriously, what's going on here? Also, content uploads are going to be slow in the next coming months because of seasonal work, and I also might start streaming sometime in the beginning of next year. If only BitChute allowed streaming. I know I'm supposed to talk about F.E.A.R. 2, but goddamn, $12 well spent, man, let me tell you. F.E.A.R. 2, in my opinion, is better than the first F.E.A.R. However, if you play on Windows 10, which everybody is nowadays, then the game suffers from extreme mouse acceleration and sensitivity. Even if you drop the sensitivity to the lowest setting, it still whips around like a motherfucker. Downloading the fix from PCGamingWiki.com also doesn't help either. If you see my aim just teleporting or stuttering around, well, it's not my fault.
So let's recap this situation. I did nothing wrong, okay?
I'm not one to talk about graphics, but god damn is this an improvement over the first game. The gunplay is far superior to the original F.E.A.R. and you can actually hold 4 weapons instead of 3. Now this game is very light on horror, so extremely so that the first level, for the most part, is just action throughout. You have to find some MILF named F.E.A.R.less today, or whatever her fucking weird ass name is. Once you find her, she gets Thanos snapped and a nuke gets dropped. Oh boy, I didn't really pick a good set of games for Halloween, did I? This level starts out in a hospital instead of a dock or office building from the first game. Truth be told, I've no fucking idea why hospitals are always featured in anything that's horror related. Like, I just don't get it. This level has a pretty long build-up, but it isn't to build up on horror or anything like that. You meet up with the MILF again, who says that some douchebag named Vanek is destroying free healthcare. After that, you finally get to pick up some weapons. A pistol and a submachine gun that looks like a P90. The P90 has low recoil, high rate of fire, and plenty of ammo to spare. It's probably one of the best weapons in the game that should permanently take up a weapon slot. Melee is here with the same moveset. However, I'm playing on hard difficulty and I still don't recommend it here. Enemies can still melt you, especially if you don't have any armor. One of the more enjoyable enemies in the game are these hazmat dudes that explode if you shoot their tanks. God damn, it's more satisfying than sex. You can pick up a shotgun here, and the shotgun is about just as effective as the shotgun from the first game, so take that with what you will. It's still possible to make these enemies explode in a fountain of spaghetti sauce. At the end of the level, you meet Vanek, who kinda looks like the gym teacher for Beavis and Butthead. Level 3 starts out with an office building again. And oh god, please save my non-existent soul. After the torture fest, you run into someone that's starting a wildfire. Hopefully there's no baby gender reveal parties here. These hot bastards are bullet sponges, and for whatever reason, shooting their backs don't do shit. After the human torch, the rest of the level goes back into a hospital. Thank fucking god. Well, at least he got one foot in the door. At the end of the level, you'll fight these fucking hype heads. Thankfully, they're not hard to kill, but they are cheap-ass bastards that can easily one-shot you. Some fat tubby gets killed early on. Shit, I don't even remember he even existed. After a while, you'll be in a hidden underground facility reminiscent of the last few levels in the first game. About midway into the level, you'll finally pick up the assault rifle. This is also another weapon you should have on you at all times. The only bad thing about it is that the reload takes longer than Neptune to orbit the fucking sun. This part here is hard, because not only do you have to deal with a hot piece of ass again, you also have to deal with an onslaught of enemies. Shit, there's more enemies here than a fucking Antifa riot. You're still in the facility. However, for a good portion of the level, all you fight are these fucking speed junkies. Also forgot to mention that this game also has that one thing in the first game where if you kill an enemy just right after you enter slow-mo, they get yeeted off to the nearest solar system. No idea why both of these games do this, but it's fucking hilarious. You find yourself in an unfinished Minecraft project and Vanek talks about Replica and Project Origin or some shit like that. Basically, you're one of the very few psionic soldiers that's not a deranged fuck-up. Your psionic abilities are on par with Alma Wade, hence the reason why she wants your D badly. Once he's done flapping his meat lips, you fight the replica soldiers. They could have done something different to the replica soldiers to make them more of a challenge or more unique, like being able to go slow-mo themselves, or even be immune to your slow-mo. But nah, just make them fucking tanks. After the area, you drop down into whatever this place is, only to get attacked by more bullet sponges. This part here is tricky as certain enemies have a shotgun that can kill you in one hit, even with armor. Speaking of, you can pick up the automatic shotgun here. It's slightly less powerful and seems to be more accurate. It has a larger magazine and the enemies here drop it frequently, so ammo is a non-issue. The real shit show starts near the end of the level, where you gotta turn the valves to activate a lift. Enemies here start spawning like they're coming out of a clown car, and once you turn the second valve, the hunchback from the first game comes back and fucks your shit up. I don't even know if it's possible to destroy the thing because the shield keeps popping up every time I shoot it, but this is where the shock grenades come in handy, as it can disable the robo bastard for a considerable amount of time. This is when you should start turning the last valve and hurry up to the lift. The next level starts in the ruins of 9/11, at least until you get up to this fuckface. These fuckers remind me of those enemies in Stalker, but here they're obnoxious bullet sponges. Thankfully, you only encounter these shitlords just a few times throughout the entire game. After that, you get to face another flamethrower unit. This is where I learned that somehow these cheating bastards have an infinite range on their flamethrower. What cheap shit. Oh, and you get to fight a total of 3 of these roasty motherfuckers in just one section. I don't know if these appeared in earlier levels, as this is the first one I found, but you can also find the reflex boosters. At the end, you get to fight an elite powered armor unit. I mean, it's not so much powered armor as much as it's a fucking mech. And it's also pathetically easy to deal with. You get to pick up a sniper rifle in level 7. One problem with it is that it zooms in way too much. Now, I did modify my FOV, so maybe that has something to do with it. The sniper enemies in this level can easily one-shot you, even with armor if you play on hard. These little camping bastards can fire their sniper rifles than you can with yours. The only way I've found to prevent instant death is to completely have maxed out armor. After that, you get to control a mech yourself. This is probably me fucking with the FOV, but goddamn do the guns take up more than half of the fucking screen. There's really only 2 of these mech sections in the entire game, and these sections are short, thankfully, as there's fuck all that poses a threat. At the end, the black guy gets killed, like they always do, and my dumbass didn't figure out where the fucking ending of the level is, until my blind ass didn't look down to see the fucking ladder. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm blind as shit. I guess you can say he was ahead of the competition. This level is probably the only real scary shit in the entire game. Shit, if I wanted to be petty, I'd say it's probably the most scariest shit in the entire franchise. It starts out in an elementary school, because after all, everyone knows school is scary. You fight another one of those things that can resurrect dead bodies. Then comes the real scary shit. You're in a dark as fuck set of rooms and hallways. To make matters worse, your flashlight doesn't work here, and you have to fight a bunch of white people. These creepy ass asswipes are all blurry and move in irregular patterns, and they're fucking everywhere. I remember playing this part when I was a kid and just shitting bricks here. Unfortunately, the rest of the level is the same shooty bang bang spunk gargle wee wee. For the first time, you meet those metal dildos from the first game. They're not as bad in this game, especially if you have a bunch of grenades to use. They drop the... Personally, I never really liked them. Most of the level is really nothing right-homed about. Probably because it's boring and generic as fuck. You're back in an underground facility. This time you meet up with Colonel Pedo Stash and blow his fucking head off. Surprisingly, this is one of the hardest levels in the game for me, simply because of the surprisingly lack of medkits and armor. Difficulty only ramps up once you get to this holding cell area. Imagine trying to deal with a group of crackheads that can smack your ugly box inside and out without any armor. Later on, you get to meet the guy. It's really him.
Who's the guy? I'm watching his Twitch.
Wow.
He gives you an energy weapon that you cannot find any extra ammo for, so I suggest using it only here once you go back to the holding cells. Too bad the projectile moves slower than Joe Biden's brain cells. At the end of the level, you get to fight those electric Spider-Man Sam Fishers again. They're roughly the same from the first time around, except when they die, they erupt electricity that can damage you if you're close enough. You get on a Daka machine and start blowing every motherfucker here into red mist. This train station can lick the crusty cheese from the crown of my knob, especially the last half. I ran out of medkits and had to deal with a bunch of pussy-ass bitches that kept one-shotting me or spawning behind me. Then you have to deal with those fucking space marines again, except this time around the motherfucker got a laser. Though I do recommend swapping out the energy weapon for the laser. You do get a good amount of ammo for it in the final levels. The beginning of this level sure as shit made me question the meaning of all existence. Not only do I have to deal with the lack of armor and medkits, not only do I have to deal with the instant kill snipers, I also have to deal with that fucker, all within the first few minutes. The remainder of the level is another mech section. This time around it's a lot more challenging as there's more rocket launcher dudes and fuck tons of mechs. You also get to fight another elite mech, but yeah, fucking wowie. This level is broken up into two parts. The first part is with the trams. This part is difficult. So difficult in fact that I actually had to temporarily turn down the difficulty just to get through this part. After the trams is this area. Fuck knows what it's supposed to be. You make the electric Spider-Man deep throats in 12 gauges again, and then you have to suffer the last portion of the fucking level. I died so many times here that even the game is sick of its own shit. Cool thing is that I can see every enemy that spawns, but the bad part is that I can't tell where the fucking cover is. Truth be told, if the game didn't glitch out like this, I probably wouldn't have beaten this part anyways. Final level of the game gives me such Stalker vibes. You know, where you gotta go into a decrepit base to destroy a thingamajiggy that has psionic powers or some shit. Yeah, it's like that. This level is quite easy, at least until you get up to the big-ass ball. Aris today, or whatever her fucking name is, kills some thought that keeps following you around the game, and you have to fight the final boss, quote-unquote. This bastard can go fuck his own mom until he cucks his daddy. This piece of shit likes to spawn anywhere he pleases and moves faster than the velocity of a 5.56 round. Throughout this boss battle is visions of Alma, you know, doing the R word and, you know, she,
I love little girls, they make me feel so good.
Po twojej pysznej zupie nie ruszam dupy z klopa, ta zupa była